Today I'm talking with Abigail Thorn. She's conquering the world on two fronts, as an actress and as a YouTube game changer. On YouTube, she's best known as the host and creator of Philosophy Tube. If you watch House of the Dragon on HBO, you know her as Sharako Lohar, who played a key role in the massive naval battle that kicked off the current season 3 of the hit show. Spoilers for that, by the way, if you're going to watch the interview. She's also been in the Star Wars show The Acolyte, and she wrote her very own play, The Prince, which played off West End in London, and there's going to be a live reading at Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles. In-person tickets are sold out, but you can buy access to a live stream, and you can find that link in the video description below. Anyway, we have a fun chat. We talk about Game of Thrones, Philosophy Tube, all that cool stuff, and her current ambition to star in her very own badass action movie. I hope you enjoy our chat, and if you do, let me know with a like, subscribe, leave a comment, check out some of the other videos on the channel. Stay a while, you'll have a good time. Anyway, let's get into it with Abigail Thorn. Hello there, Abigail Thorn.
Hello, hello. Nice to be here.
So let's just lead off with the Game of Thrones of it all. Across 2 episodes, you get to do mud wrestling, you get to be on a boat, you get to lead the army into battle, and then you get stabbed in the neck and die horrifically. You did the speed run of all the cool things you can do on Game of Thrones, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. She's all killer, no filler. And I come into work and I only do the cool bits, and then they're like, okay, you're done.
So it was, across these 2 episodes, was it like, how many days of shooting is that? And how much of the team do you get to be versus like, coming in, doing the work, getting out?
Well, I mean, we were filming on season 3 for a few months. And back in season 2, it was maybe a couple months. Plus, there's all the training and rehearsal days that go in between that. So it's been 2 or 3 years from, I think, start to finish, audition to, well, I guess we're still not done because there's still, press and so on. But yeah, it's been a 2 or 3 year journey, and I felt very, very included from the beginning. Everyone on the show, everyone from the drivers right the way up to the executive producers and the HBO execs is really lovely and made me feel very included from the jump.
That's fantastic.
Mm.
So this might sound terribly self-serving, but how does someone with a YouTube channel go from making videos to writing your own plays and getting to be in Star Wars?
Well, that's actually a bit of a misconception. I was an actress first. I've been an actress since I was a kid, and I went to professional drama school and was classically trained to be an actress in the UK. And it's just that YouTube kind of blew up first, and then acting did, quite unconnected from it. And then only in recent years have I started to be able to put them together in an interesting way. So like getting my play financed through Nebula and so on, and getting my short film financed through Nebula. No, I've very much gone into acting the traditional way. There's all this stuff in Hollywood right now about, backrooms and obsession and YouTubers becoming actors and writers and directors and so on. And I actually did things the old-fashioned way. I went to a classical British drama school and trained. And then as for Star Wars and House of the Dragon, I just auditioned. I wasn't offered the role. I don't think I've ever been offered a role based on my YouTube stuff. The producers didn't know about my YouTube channel when I auditioned for House of the Dragon. And yeah, I just went along to the audition, and they auditioned quite a few people, and I did my best, and then they gave me the part.
That's great. I mean, it's interesting to see some crossover between those two worlds, but at the same time, like there is very much like lots of YouTube people who don't know anything about the Hollywood system and vice versa. Like, oh, you're a YouTube, so you make videos of cats, I assume. that
Yeah,
kind of thing, right?
Things are starting to improve. I think especially in a post Iron Lung, post Backrooms, Obsession, Amazing Digital Circus world, people are starting to be a bit more tuned into it. And I think in my own modest way, I've contributed to that. and I'm still contributing to that. But yeah, things are starting to improve. People are starting to get it now, and I do meet fans of the show of Philosophy Tube in quite unusual places.
You don't have to be modest about it. You just celebrated 13 years.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Philosophy Tube is 13 years old. I'm currently taking a little bit of a break in between seasons to completely plan and write the next season of the show, to think about how I want to take it on going forward. But yeah, yeah, 13 years on YouTube. Mhm.
You've been doing it for a long time, but then, COVID lockdown happens. Is that a, as a YouTube person, is that a boost to your productivity, or is that like, did it knock the wind out of your sails, or did it boost your momentum? What was the impact?
Well,
Like, would your career be where it is if the lockdowns hadn't happened?
well, that's very hard to say. I mean, I think COVID definitely boosted the creator economy in some ways because a lot more people were stuck indoors and couldn't go out to concerts and live events and so on, and so put their money into supporting creators. I think now many creators are living in the correction to that, as indeed Hollywood and the entertainment industry is. There was this content boom, and now we're living in things going back to normal, really. So in one sense, it was certainly a notable moment in my career, but it's hard to say whether it would have whether online video would be the same without it. I think it's hard to say how it would have affected things that came after that, significant milestones like The Prince, my play, which was instrumental on getting me on House of the Dragon and turning me into a kind of a more action-focused actress, which is what I am now. But yeah.
Hmm. Looking back at the all the topics you've covered on Philosophy Tube, is there like have you revisited things with a different perspective like a decade later? And is there a an episode or a topic that you would like to redo, that you feel like maybe your opinion has changed on anything?
You know, it's funny. People ask me this a lot, and I try always to look forward to the next thing. I don't think I'm ever going to go back and remake anything. People so sometimes say, "Well, you should remake this old," and I'm like, "No, it is what it is, and it bears the marks of having been made at the time it has been." So yeah, I think I'm happy, and I stand by everything I've said or everything I've made on the channel. And that's also partly why we have the post-mortem live streams. After every episode of Philosophy Tube, I do a live stream where I talk about how it was received and what the comments were, so that I can have a critical eye on it as well. But no, I like always to look forward to the next thing.
Fair enough. Um, you're like you said, you're in the action hero phase of your career.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, this has got creatine in, by the way. This is creatine and protein powder.
okay, fair enough. It sounds awful, but it's probably really good for you.
It's delicious. I get
Okay.
these.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that. Well, all right, let's do Star Wars first. When you look at the online discourse surrounding Star Wars, especially the Acolyte, are you just like these people don't know how good they have it with all this new Star Wars that was coming out? And B, is everyone on the internet crazy but me?
Uh, I'm not really aware of the online discourse about that. I don't look at that. I
They
mean,
they
my
get
job as
mad
an
when
actress.
girls are in stuff.
Oh well, I mean, I assume they do. And people get mad when women do everything. But no, I mean, my job as an actress, as a professional, is to turn up on set and serve the text and serve what the director's vision is. I really enjoyed working on Star Wars and on House of the Dragon. Everyone I worked with on Star Wars, Kogonada, who directed my episodes, and all my colleagues and Leslie herself, everyone was wonderful, and I'm proud of the work we did. And I guess like if I want feedback on it, I get my feedback from my director and from my colleagues. So I'm not really aware of the online discourse about it. I know the show did well and people liked it. So and people come up to me and they say they liked it. So yeah, that's all I see really. The rest, I guess, yeah, it's not an actor's job to check the comments. Like it's a YouTuber's job sometimes involved. Some YouTubers read the comments, and I still read the comments on Philosophy Tube. But when it comes to acting, that's just it's just not really how that whole world works, or at least it's not the way I navigate
No, I mean I think that is the correct answer.
it.
Um, because I mean, I definitely did my time in the online news trenches,
Oh,
having to turn Twitter comments into a story and be
Oh, wow.
like, do we care what online bots think? Do they
I'm
think?
I haven't been on Twitter for years, so I just yeah.
That's why you look so good, because you're healthy. You're mentally healthy.
Yeah, I just don't go on it. I haven't been on it in years. I,
And
I
that's
know I know
why
people who do. Sometimes people are just like, oh God, Twitter's horrible. I'm just like, that's an easy solution to that. Like, but no,
yeah, turn it off.
I haven't been on Twitter for years. I've never been on 4chan ever. I hear it's horrible, but I've never been on it. Yeah.
Yeah, even that that even I've never been on. I'm
Okay.
just like I can only take so much toxic
Hmm.
whatever into my body.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Viv would forgive me if I'd stayed on. My friend Vivian, I don't think she'd forgive me if I'd stayed on Twitter.
Right. Well, so kind of navigating this, do you consider it like the next phase of your career? Like, is it a transition from YouTube into full-time acting? Like, is Philosophy Tube going anywhere?
No, no, God,
And
no.
yeah.
No, Philosophy Tube's not going anywhere. I mean, I have been a full-time actress for years and a
Mm.
full-time YouTuber. It's just I have two full-time jobs. Um, but no, Philosophy Tube isn't going anywhere. And if it did, I would make it very clear that it was. I have an idea in my head of what the final episode of Philosophy Tube will be, and if I ever make it, you'll know. No, I'm planning the next season of the show. Um, Meanwhile, acting is going well, and we obviously, my team and I hope that House of the Dragon is a significant moment for us. But I'm still writing. I've written a feature film that's just attached to a wonderful director. I can't say the name, but you'll know and you'll see when it comes out. We've just gone out for financing. So fingers crossed for that. And also my play, The Prince, is having a rehearsed reading, a staged reading at Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles on the 31st of July. So yeah, I mean the acting is progressing nicely, and I'm definitely getting some nice meetings and some nice chats off the back of House of the Dragon. But we'll see. But if Philosophy Tube ever goes anywhere, you'll know.
Okay, great. You won't pull the rug out from under us.
No, God no. I like doing it.
Yeah. And we all like watching it. Star Wars, um, Game of Thrones, or House of the Dragon, I should say. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, is there like a franchise out there, like either from your childhood or whenever, that you're like,
yeah.
oh, I wish I could be in that. How do I make moves to be in that?
I would love to do some superhero stuff. I'd love to because I have the body for it now, and I've been trained for it now. I worked with a lot of the Marvel and DC stunt team on House of the Dragon. I think I've mentioned that my stunt double on House of the Dragon, Stanny, was Wonder Woman's stunt double, which was very cool. And I was taught to fight by stunt doubles for Captain America and Deadpool and Thor and stuff. So I'd love to do some superhero stuff. That'd be fantastic. I'm excited by what James Gunn is doing at DC. I think he's doing fantastic stuff. Remains to be seen, I suppose, what the Paramount merger makes of all of that. But yeah, I think
Trying
now that
not to
I've
think
got,
about it.
I guess, yeah, we'll find out. But I think there's always going to be an appetite for superhero films and for action films as well. But yeah, I would love to do some superhero stuff. I'd love to be in something that my little nieces and nephew can watch me in because they can't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
But they're
right.
starting to get to the ages now where superheroes, where they like superheroes, and I'd love to do something like that. That'd be fantastic. And there's specific directors and people I'd love to work with. I think that James Mangold does amazing work telling stories and creating characters through action. I loved his work on the new Indiana Jones, the latest one. I
Hmm?
thought that was great. And yeah, I've followed his work for years, ever since Copland, actually. So I would love to work with him. He's definitely on my list of people.
If you get the chance to watch Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny with a very old person, take it, because I have done that and it has
Uh-huh.
been great to see how they respond to it,
Oh,
and how
super.
positive it is.
Oh, great. But yeah, I love James Mangold's work. I think he's very, very talented as a director. And as somebody who knows how to tell stories through action, I would love to work with him.
Um, well, so you've taken charge of your body. You've been working out. You're kicking ass. Tell me about, like, what was like the impetus for that? Were you working one day and you're like, man, I'm on the computer a lot, or I'm tired. When did you go? I got to take control of this.
Well, when we did The Prince, my play back in 2022, there was a lot of sword fighting in that. And so I had to get fit for that. When House of the Dragon season two came along, it was through the process of creating Sharako, the character, that I knew she was a very physical woman. I knew that she fought a lot, and I had a little bit of action in season two, the mud wrestling scene. So I got in good shape for that, and I found that I really enjoyed the action and had a bit of a talent for it. And so I said to the stunt team, next season, if they bring me back, because it was one season at a time in terms of contracting. I said, if you bring me back, I'd love to do more action. I'd love to. And so when the contract for season three came down, I was like, right, okay, I'm really gonna hit the gym. I put on a lot of muscle, and then they said, right, we're gonna give you, you're gonna be the villain in the biggest naval battle ever filmed, in the biggest episode of TV ever filmed. And so they trained me up, and I did boxing and sword fighting and all the kind of like stunt training that I had to do the fights. And I found that I really liked it. And I found that I'd found my niche. There was one day where the assistant stunt director, Ben Wright, after a day of fighting, he said to me, am I allowed to swear? He said, fucking hell, Abigail, you were born for this. And I was like, oh, wow, Captain America just told me I was born to be an action star. That's incredible. And I found that I really had the knack for it, which was wonderful. I found that I'd really found my niche as an actress because I used to go up for a lot of romantic lead roles because of the cheekbones, but they don't often let you have those roles if you're taller than the man. So I got to play a romantic lead on Django, a period drama, a Western I did years ago. Matthias Schoenaerts was the lead Django, and he was 6'4". And even then, they still made me stand down a step in a couple of the shots just to make him look bigger. And so I went up for these romantic roles, and I would often get down to the final few, and they'd say, "We love you, but you're too tall."
No.
And then House of the Dragon came along, and they said, "We just want a woman who's over 6 foot who can fight." And now I found that's my niche. Is there aren't that many tall, muscular women who can fight, especially at this moment in Hollywood. The vogue at the moment is for the very, very skinny, almost girlish Ozempic body, which is fine. I'm not knocking it. That's an aesthetic. But it's not what I want to do. And so it's funny. Everyone else is on Ozempic and I'm on creatine. it's funny, and I've found this nice moment to be this kind of physicality and to be this kind of woman. I find that walking into auditions, I'm getting different auditions than most other actresses. There's not as many women in this niche. I mean, when we shot House of the Dragon, Lonnie, the director, he would say to me in the morning, he'd be like, you're Sigourney Weaver in Alien, or you're Linda Hamilton in Terminator, and like Charlize Theron, And so there aren't really that many women who do action. Michelle Rodriguez, I suppose, who is, love her, inspirational. Would love to work with her as well, actually. But yeah, I find that I'm in this good niche right now, and I'm enjoying it. It's the kind of roles that I like playing. It comes with unique challenges, and that's what I'm all about as an actor. Is I want to be challenged, because if you're not being challenged, you're not getting better. And acting is the art form to which I've dedicated my life, and so I want to get better at it.
Incredible. It sounds like you've got a real handle on what you're doing and what you want to do. Are you a goal oriented person, or do you kind of take it as it comes?
Absolutely. I'm very goal oriented. I'm very, very organized, very determined. I was up at 6:30 this morning in the gym. I work out 6 days a week, first thing in the morning. I'm very, very like that.
Okay. I woke
Type
up
A
like an hour
personality,
ago.
I think they used to call it.
Fair. Um, so when you're shooting, this huge battle scene, do they have, your stunt person, and are you like fighting with your stunt person like, no, I can do this, and they're like, insurance, or what's that like?
A little bit. So about 95% of what you see in the Battle of the Gullet is me doing the fights. There were some things they wouldn't let me do for insurance purposes. There was one shot that had to be done on a harness, and I came to set, and my stunt double Stanny, who was wonderful, she was in the wires, and I said to the head of stunts, I was like, she's wearing wires. Like, if it's wires, I can do it. And he said, no, if you roll your ankle, we're fucked, because we can't keep filming the rest of it. And I was like, okay. So there's a couple of individual shots where what you see is Stanley, but also, she wasn't sitting around doing nothing. Stanley taught me how to fight. When we were filming the fight sequences, she's just off camera, and then when we call cut, she's like, "Okay, this bit, try it this way, or this bit, like this is how you could just really spice this up and make it nice and spicy." And so she's like constantly there on set as a fight coach, really, and as just a friend, really. Stanley was just a delight to work with. Can't say enough good things about her and the whole stunt team.
So when you're doing like the sword fights and that kind of dirt under your nails kind of battle, how much is the choreo like days and weeks beforehand, and how much of it is someone, maybe you or the other actor or the director, goes, oh, what if we try this? How much of it is made up on the day versus the previs?
100% of it is scheduled and planned and rehearsed months in advance. I mean, just for safety, you would never, ever, ever change the choreography mid-fight because you could hurt someone. You could hurt someone one-on-one in a fist fight, never mind on the moving deck of a pirate ship when things are on fire and all the rest of it. So all of it, all the moves are taught to us months in advance and drilled again and again and again and again with the other actors, with stunt doubles, all different ways, so that we know exactly what's going to happen, and that we fight in a way that looks very dynamic, but is planned and safe. And I'm very proud to say that throughout the whole Battle of the Gauntlet, I don't think anyone got a major injury, which is wonderful. I mean, safety first. But the job as an actor, I mean, they teach you the moves, like, okay, it's going to be this diagonal move here or this one up here. But there's still so much you can do as an actor to bring a character to life through that. Because if I tell you, okay, your move is you raise your hand, there's 100 ways to raise your hand. You can raise it fast, you can raise it slow, you can, here, like you can do all kinds of things with it. And your job as an actor is to find how the character executes those moves. And so for Sharako, I studied Hugh Jackman's performance as Wolverine a lot, because there's a lot of female action roles where it's like gymnastics based. It's very like kind of almost like Sailor Moon, it's like, for want of a better word, girlish, and I mean like young girlish. And I wanted Sharako to be, I mean, her ship is called the Bitch Fist. She's 6'1". She's very muscular. She stinks. She's not someone who fights like a little girl. She fights like an animal. I wanted her to get in low, to punch hard, to be like a tiger. I mean, I studied the tigers at London Zoo and based some of her physicality off that as well. And so I was really inspired by Hugh Jackman's performance as Wolverine, because he really gets in low and gets in hard and hits fast, but then there's a fluidity to it, like he's on to the next move. And especially because Sharako has so many of those little knives and is always pulling them out and using them and changing weapons. I really went back and I watched a lot of his scenes in the X-Men movies and was like, okay, how can I bring that kind of punchiness and fluidity to it? So that's your job as the actor, is to understand how the character would execute those moves and then to do it, which is wonderful because you can tell such a beautiful story without lines. That you can say so much about the character through the way that they move, and fighting is part of that.
That's really tremendously well said, because there's so many people still who look at action as like a lesser form of acting, when there's
Really?
just as like, oh yeah, you're just hitting your marks. And it's like, well, I mean, you could be reductive that way about all acting,
Well, yeah, you could
but
be
like
reductive in like any job. There's to do it at the highest possible level, to take it seriously. And I wanted to take it seriously because when they offered me this job, I was like, this is the biggest show in the world. This is the big leagues, And I was like, people are counting on me and people are trusting me to do my job. And so I took it very seriously and worked very, very hard on it. Because yeah, and that's what the audience deserve, and it's what my colleagues deserve.
how about the seasickness?
I don't generally get seasick actually.
Okay.
Some people did on the boats, because they do really move like a boat because of the gimbals. But touch wood, so far I don't generally get seasick.
Okay, that would be.
I mean, I love scuba diving. I'm often out on the water, so.
Oh, I've never gone scuba diving, but it is like a bucket list item for me. Like I would love to do it. Even snorkeling. I'll take snorkeling.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've been scuba diving since I was a kid. It's wonderful. I love it.
where have you gone? Are there like, so this is just a personal interest of mine, But like
Yeah,
what
no,
are some
I've been
amazing
all
things that you've
over.
seen underwater?
I mean, I learned to dive in the Caribbean when I was a kid, and I've been to Central America and Belize. It's wonderful. Mauritius and a little bit in the Indian Ocean, Australia, New Zealand. I went diving with great white sharks in New Zealand a few years ago, which was very, very exciting. And I've been shark diving in the Bahamas as well. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's good stuff. And the nice thing about scuba diving is sometimes it's very relaxing, and sometimes you can do it as a thrill-seeking thing, as an extreme sport too. So,
Have you injured yourself while working out, while training, or while shooting something? And how did you recover physically and mentally?
sometimes, usually, if I'm doing a very physical role, I'll usually get a little injury, like in the first few weeks. And it's kind of like my orange light. I'm just like, okay, that's just something to pay attention to. I'll get like a twinge in the wrist or the knee or something, and then just it's kind of almost a useful reminder to take things easy. Touch wood, I haven't had a serious injury so far, and I hope it stays that way. But yeah, no, all the stunts and so on. We they train you pretty seriously, and they train you in all the safety. And when you work with dedicated professional people like we did on House of the Dragon, it's as safe as it can be fighting on a burning pirate ship.
Well, I mean, if there's a standout sequence in this whole show, it was that battle, and
Oh,
you're such an integral part of it
thank
that
you.
it would be different. It would be a different show if you weren't in that role.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a real treat to get it actually. And what a kind of wonderful character. I think to be given a character who is so thinly drawn in the original material, and to be given the chance to bring my own interpretation to her and tell the stories that I did with her. I mean, even just, to be trusted by the team on the biggest show in the world to plan her arc across these two episodes and to bring it home. I mean, it's wonderful. It's a real treat as an actress to get that kind of opportunity.
Hmm. If I have time for one more quickly,
Sure. I mean, I don't have anything after this, so I can stick around. Like
okay.
whatever you got. Let's hang out.
I love picking your brain.
Sure.
You got a good brain for picking. It's all the keratin. Um, you talked about how great it is to nail this role, to get it, to be able to do it. But I'm sure you've gone on auditions that haven't worked out.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to name names or anything. But was there ever like how do you avoid being so precious about something? How do you go, oh, that's the role, I'm gonna get it, and then like you don't make it to the callback?
I do not avoid doing that. No, I mean the truth of it is that 95% of the jobs you go up for as a professional actor are jobs that you don't get. It happens. Um, I'm gonna go and see a movie soon with some friends that I auditioned for that I didn't get. But
See
it's
that? I don't know if I could do that. I would take it personally. I'd be like, oh, that's son of...
it's fine. Like, and 99% of the time I shrug it off. Every now and then there's one that's like, I would have been so perfect for that. That would have been so good. And then especially if it comes out and the person in the role is rubbish and everyone says they're rubbish, it's like, see, you should have given it to me. I mean, I can't say what this is, but um a couple of years ago I did go up for something, you'd know the name of it, and then it came out and because they had rewritten the character to make her very different than my casting, which is fine, it's their prerogative. But then it came out and everyone was like, nah, it's not as good. They should have kept her the way that we thought she was going to be. And even the casting director was texting me, or one of the assistant casting directors was texting me like, we should give it to you. I was like, there you go. It happens. It happens. But that's just part of the business. That's you just got to learn to roll with it. And one of the things that they train you to do at professional drama school, it's not just about teaching you to act. In my case, the drama school I went to also trained us how to exist in the industry, and so dealing with the rejection and shrugging that off is a part of that. So yeah, I mean, the answer is that I was trained to roll with it. And then we have a saying in the acting industry: we say, "What is for you won't go by you," and that if it was meant for you, you'll get it. If it's not meant for you, it'll go somewhere else, and you'll be on to the next thing. So
That sounds like some philosophy too.
it is. There's a lot of
Sorry.
there's a lot of philosophy in the acting industry, a lot of self-help, I guess, because you need it when you're kind of being rejected for 95% of the things you go up for. And also, like, the nature of these things is the nature of making. It's a miracle that anything ever gets made in Hollywood. So the nature
Sure.
of it is that you will have 1,000 near misses before you get one thing that you get. I mean, that big job that I really really wanted and didn't get, I gave it to someone else. That happened just before the House of the Dragon audition came down the pipe, and I was like, ah man, I really really wanted that. And then they were like, do you want House of the Dragon instead? I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And it was fine. It turned out to be great. The other thing is that it can really be a spur to your own creative endeavors. I mean, the feature film that I wrote, which is now going out to financing, I wrote because I wanted more action roles. And I started drafting it a couple of years ago, and because the roles that I wanted to play weren't out there, so I wrote this role for myself in this action movie, and now it looks like that might happen. And so if I hadn't got those rejections, I wouldn't have done that. And the equally the Prince, this thing we're going to be doing a rehearsed reading with on the 31st of July. I wrote that because years and years and years ago, I auditioned for the Globe Theatre, Shakespeare's Globe in London, and I didn't get in that time. And so I went, well, I'm going to write my own play in Shakespearean English, and did. So sometimes the rejection can be a useful spur.
Yeah. It's so funny when you were talking about the audition that you lost and then got House of the Dragon. Just reminded me so much of the advice I give to people that's based on myself of like breaking up with someone and being so down and being like, oh no, I'm never gonna love again. And then you rebound and you're like, what was I mad about?
Yeah, 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 exactly. Just got to shrug it off and keep going.
Exactly. Um, okay, last bit.
Sure.
Um, who do you want to fight? Like on camera, who's like who do you want to go face to face, mano a mano with?
That's such a good question. I would love to fight Michelle Rodriguez because I think she's a gifted physical actor. She's so good. She's on my list. Would love to fight Jason Statham. Fantastic physical actor. Just I think like underrated as a physical actor, underrated as an actor. Like would love to fight him. That'd be great. Who else? In fact, for this feature film the other day, my manager was texting me a list of names that we want to like go out to for it. So no, I'm just running down the list of like, oh, who would I love to fight in that? Yeah, those two. I think Michelle Rodriguez and Jason Statham would absolutely be top of my list. I think they're both fantastic. But no, I mean, if it's for the right character and the right story, I'll sounds weird to say I'll fight anybody. Like,
I
yeah.
mean, I have no fighting skills whatsoever, and I will fight anybody.
Keanu Reeves. Like, come on. Like,
That's the right answer.
would love to fight Keanu Reeves any day of the week. Yeah, he'd kick my ass, but like, oh god, that would be so much fun. I get a kick out of that.
Looking forward to seeing you in John Wick 5.